Welcome all of you. So in this video we will talk about self-healing materials, and again this is one of the things which have been discovered in the nanomaterial itself, and these kind of self-healing nanomaterials very useful and very future needs, and especially where such wearing tearing exposures on any object is happening, and that is one of the thing is like in a space. So, have you ever thought of like any objects or satellites what the peoples are making and deploy over there in outer space? They have to revolve around throughout the on a they revolve around the earth, and they this revolution happening like so like decades to decades, and especially if we talk about the international space station, so it's been very years, like long years. So what happens like we cannot make any kind of space object or any kind of object which is in space where we need to deploy in space from the metals or very strong alloy or any kind of such kind of highly stable structures. We can't do that, but what we can make and what we can do, yeah, so that is one of the things. And apart from, so there is a sum of the part of that satellite, and some of the part of that bigger object which is revolving around the earth or any space objects, they having some polymeric materials and other stuff also. So definitely these polymers are definitely, those are stable and all, but while I'm talking about those are revolving around the earth in the exposure of various meteoroids, is not like the bigger meteoroids I'm talking about, even the smaller to smaller meteoroids, even the velocity they have like very huge velocity they have, like some 1 lakh 2 lakh, like beyond like some lakh kilometers, in that kind of velocity they have in space. So when any object having such kind of exposure like radiations, meteoroids, and having the velocities, so that is one of the bigger questions, like whatever the components which is in polymeric forms, so how long it going to be sustained. So that is one of the things. And even if suppose it able to extend for a 20 years and 30 years or 50 years or maybe 100 years, still you need to change it after that particular year, and changing that component is very tedious and very costly, and it's not easily doable. Some of the fraction of that they have to remove it, then come back, so many expenses can happen. So scientists see this thing as a problem, take it as a challenge, and they develop such kind of nano materials which can able to self heal. And one of the component what they have discovered, these nanomaterials, they talk about some polydicyclopentadiene. So polycyclodipentadiene, these are the materials, they make it in a nano formulation, nanoparticles, and these after making such a nanoparticle, they make it an objects in a form of eraser, like that particular object, because I'll tell you what is the reason for this. And they make it, and the different versions of this, keeping the control also, like in general the spaces they are using the epoxy material, and what they do, they make these things and place over the ISS in different directions, because each and every direction having the different quantity of radiation exposure, meteoroid exposures. So those are they place in different directions, and apart from that they place a control also. They control like the material control also, and epoxy, the general material they are utilizing in for making such kind of component in their ISS. So make that component also to for the comparison whether these things are best or not, and they find very interesting result. Whatever the scientists had invented such kind of polymer, polydicyclopentadiene, with some self-healing properties, they having very good result in compared to the what is the traditional they are utilizing it. And apart from that, one of the researchers, they invented something. They fill these material with some kind of nano capsules, and those nano capsules is filled with some kind of glass material also. So what happened, like whenever these radiation happening, oxide radiations and other radiation, anything which can degenerate the surface of that particular object, so these capsules get activated, and once they get activated, it release their component, and when they releasing their component, they fill that gap. So that is called the self-healing. So the material heal themselves, and this healing time, that is also one of the very interesting results they find. This healing time from a minute to an hour, that is the healing time they achieve. minutes to an hour, and it's really tremendous, very good result in compared to like this kind of self-healing material we already discovered in a bulkier forms here. And not this kind, I'm saying like in a self-healing domain we have such kind of material, but those healing take place in a day, in a 2 days, like that, or many hours, in a many hours they heal that, and not even having that kind of level of exposure, the way the exposure or deterioration happening in a space. So but this nanoformulation, this nanomaterial showing literally a tremendous result. So that is very exciting, and it will save the lots of money to parts replacement, because any kind of things, if any repairing or any mechanism they need to do, so they need to employ sometime people also, and sometime they do their own space stations also. Then sometimes the crew is going over there and they make such kind of changes and all, and we have seen that, we have seen so many missions just due to the some resolving some problems in ISS and all, some kind of body parts replacement or something. So in the like maintenance part, if I can say, so it includes lots of cost. So if we able to make such kind of nano healing materials, then definitely it is a very great great amount of money we can save. But still there is a lots of optimizations we need to do. That is a one step people have done, and even this thing has been done in a razor form of that objects. And one thing I completely know, as I already have worked on these nanoparticles, not these kind of nanoparticles, like different kind of nanoparticles, I know there is one of the problem for their property control, because the way we can control the property of bulk material, it is not possible to control the property of nanomaterials. So that is the one thing, once we going to scale up, once we in a form of bigger object or something by utilizing this kind of material. So that is the one question always, the way it showing this result right now in a smaller form, are they able to make such kind of property in the bigger form? It is also possible this property get enhanced, but on the same time it also possible that this property get deteriorate with that scale up procedure. So yeah, these things are there, questions are there, but the one step is put forward in that way, like which can sustain such kind of radiations and oxide radiations and like any kind of deterioration which is happening in the space. So in the future, like what we want to develop different kind of satellite for observations for a longer time, so we can design such things where this is ISS, where the people are like scientists are living also there, but some of the satellite what we want to make just for the information, so we need such satellite for the should be stable for the longer time, so it can give such good information when it can travel some different planetary movement. And I don't know whether it's possible or not, because one of the research for about this hydrogen pump, if you guys are aware of that, one of the that is a dream project for this NASA. I have seen that, I have read those things, some hydrogen, because in our outer space there is a abundance of hydrogens available. So they conceptually design, not actually design, the conceptual design, like if we suck the whole hydrogens and utilize it as an fuel source, and then and we need to seek these hydrogen atoms or hydrogen things from the space. So if any kind of object which can absorb such kind of hydrogen atoms and all, and then can utilize it in a form of energy, so definitely the interplanetary movement can possible, because hydrogen is abundance in outer space. But till this date, whatever the energy sources what we have, we can't do such kind of interplanetary movement. But yeah, so in that if you think about in the future, so yeah, that is one of the steps. So I'm thinking maybe the further down the line, the 100 years, maybe we able to make such kind of movement, like interplanetary movement is possible, because we have not gone beyond our own solar systems, not even we have sent any kind of satellite also. So that is one of the things. So that's it for all about this video. And if you need a further detail on this, just DM me like further, like what kind of nanoparticle, how these things has been done, how nanoparticle has formed, what kind of experiment for confirmation they have done, everything. So I can't explain each and everything here, but in a personal comment I can do this. So just DM me if you need further explanations on that. So we will meet in another video with some another topic. So till then, bye, take care.